For the CircuitPython Parsec today, in the continuing saga of this Nintendo controller on Feather with memory display, I want to talk about firing projectiles. So last time we started moving an object around. It was a circle last time. Now I've turned it into a little triangle. So now, on top of having a Nintendo Classic controller, which is an I2C controller, using our little I2C Stemma QT breakout, and moving an object's XY using the D-pad, I want to be able to fire projectiles as if we are playing a little game here. So the way that I'm doing this, we've got all of the same imports as before pretty much. I'm importing the time board for pin definitions, display I/O, frame buffer I/O, vector I/O so I can draw a fast little shape, Wii Classic library from the community so that we can use this Wii Classic controller, the display shapes rectangle to make the white background, and the sharp display library. We're releasing the display with display I/O, and then I'm establishing this controller, or rather this display on the SPI bus. Once that's set up, we initialize I2C so we can use the controller with this great Wii Classic controller library, set up the main screen group, set up that white background, define some colors, black and white, it's a monochrome display. And I'm setting up the ship now as a triangle, so I'm setting up a size which it's going to derive the vertex positions from, and I'm placing it halfway on the screen but down at the bottom when we start. So display height minus the ship size lifts it up above the horizon there. And I'm setting my move steps to be 18 so that it's pretty fast. It stutters a little bit, but it's pretty fast. We set up a palette for that so we can draw it, and then this is the creation of the actual ship here. Then I'm creating this projectile, which is that little circle that you see there. So I'm setting up a radius for that and the speed as variables, setting up a black and white palette for that, setting initial state of projectile to be none. And this way, I'm going to do it Space Invaders style, where I can't shoot a second projectile while the first one is going. So Space Invaders style, those are the rules. You have to wait for that projectile to hit something or get off the screen before it disappears. So initially we're saying there is no projectile. We'll be checking that to decide when to get rid of one projectile and allow another one to be added to the screen. The Y position is initially set to 0, and then this is state tracking for the button. And then in the main loop, like before, I'm checking control pad, D-pad up, down, left, and right to see how we move the ship based on that move step interval. And we're also now, before I was letting it fly off the screen, but now I'm constraining that so that if we move too far to the left, we just hold it at the left, too far to the right, hold it at the right. So that's just based on the 400 by 240 screen dimensions. And then to, again, avoid stair-stepping, we set both X and Y simultaneously. So those will move in a diagonal line and not little stair steps. Now this is where we get the projectile added to this. So first thing we do is check to see if the button has gotten pressed. If it's been pressed, the projectile is none, meaning there isn't one on the screen, then we can go ahead and proceed. Only fire a projectile if none exists. Then we create the new projectile, which is a vector I/O circle using the pixel shader, color index 0, so that's black, the radius of 4 that I had set before, and then the ship's XY position is where we fire it from. The projectile gets added to the display I/O group, the screen group it's appended, and then the projectile Y value is set to wherever we got launched from so that we can then base subsequent moves from that. Ship doesn't have to move for the projectile to move. And then we check to see if the projectile exists, then we're going to move it up on Y by setting this variable. Projectile Y equals projectile speed. So the screen 0 is at the top and 400 is at the bottom. So we're going to subtract that move speed, I think I set to 20, from each step, each tick of the clock of the program. And then if it goes off screen, we want to get rid of it. So if that projectile Y variable is less than the radius of the square of the projectile, so basically 4 pixels off the screen, that's when we know we can hide it. we will remove it by doing screen group remove, so that takes it out of that screen group. And we also clear out the reference to it so that we're allowed to make a new one. And then the whole game ticks along, refreshes. And you can see over in my, if I open up the REPL a little more, you can see I'm just, for debugging purposes, setting when the projectile gets made, so projectile fired. I'm setting its position on the screen. I said 400 before, rather. It's 240 rather, 240 high. So this is going to subtract as it gets past the top, the origin on Y, and then it gets removed. And so that is how we can fire a single projectile inside of our game demo inside of CircuitPython. And that is your CircuitPython Parsec.